Good evening, and thank you for joining us tonight. I am Rosario Mendez with the Federal Trade Commission, and I'm here tonight with Michelle Grajales, my colleague from the Division of Financial Practices. She's an attorney there at the FTC, and she is going to tell us tonight a little bit about student loan debt relief scams and how to avoid them. Hi, Michelle. How are you tonight? Thanks for being here with us.
Hi, I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Great. So, Michelle, student loan is something that a lot of us have. Student loan debt can get unbearable sometimes. I think scammers probably know that, and they try to take advantage of maybe people trying to reduce their student loan debt. What kind of things can we watch out for when we get offers related to our student loans?
Right. It is really tricky because I think that some companies in this area are scams, and they make promises that sound really good to reduce your debt or eliminate the debt entirely. But there are some red flags that we can look out for.
What are those? Yes, that's great.
So the first one is, for promises around loan forgiveness.
Mm-hmm.
Watch out for promises to forgive your loans quickly. Loan forgiveness is definitely available for many of the federal loan programs, but they typically require years of on-time qualifying payments. So companies that are promising to get this done for you very quickly, that is definitely a red flag. And another red flag is companies that promise special expertise or special access to federal loan programs or federal student loan benefits. And we're seeing sometimes in our cases companies go as far to take like a Department of Education logo or seal off the internet, or they will say that they're affiliated with a particular loan program, or sometimes they just use really official sounding names, and it can be a little confusing when you're first dealing with one of these companies about who you're dealing with. But it's another red flag because the Department of Education does not vet or approve private companies to put people into loan consolidation or repayment programs. They have federal loan servicers and the Department of Education, but private companies are not actually affiliated with the federal government. If that makes any sense.
No, that's great information. So we definitely need to watch out for certain things when we're looking to reduce our student loan debt so that we don't fall for these scams. And those are some great flags that you just identified. Anything else that we should be looking out for that we should talk about?
Yes, never pay an upfront fee for student loan debt relief. It's unlawful for a company to take a fee from you before they provided the debt relief help, before they provided the service. Mm-hmm. So whatever benefit they're promising you, if it's loan forgiveness, if it's consolidating your loans and getting you into an income-based repayment plan, they cannot collect your money before they give you that benefit. So that's something you can look out for at the outset. If they're asking for your bank account information during the first call, if they're asking you to sign a permission form to take money out of your bank account, or call that sometimes ACH withdrawal form, if you're seeing indication that they're going to charge you before providing the debt relief, that is a major red flag, because it's very hard sometimes to get your money back under those circumstances.
All right, so that's a really good red flag, very clear. Don't pay any upfront fee.
That's right.
If you're trying to get some help with your debt. Also, Michelle, I would like to know a little bit about how do they find us? Like how do they know, for example, that I have a student loan debt and they target me particularly? Do they know my student ID or something like that?
Well, so that's actually a very complicated question. There are a lot of different ways that advertisers get to consumers, but to be sure, you may hear from these companies through all different media. It could be snail mail, online websites, definitely telephone calls, text messages, radio, TV, social media even. Some of the companies are using shareable content, memes to get people to click on their link. So there are all different avenues of advertisement of these services. And certainly kind of once you if you put your name out there, or if you fill out an inquiry, sometimes your contact information gets shared.
Okay.
So there are a lot of there's a lot of different access to students and to consumers in this area, and so I think we need to be just careful to do the due diligence and to look out for sort of more troubling red flags or troubling behavior before we sign up.
Yeah, that's great information. And so I guess the natural question is, where do we go for legitimate help?
Yes. Okay, so if we're talking about federal student loans, which is the focus of this conversation, go to studentaid.ed.gov. And that is the Department of Education's website. It's their website where they have all the information about the different loan programs and benefits and, limitations, how long would you have to pay for to get this benefit, the details of those programs. So you can get all the information, studentaid.ed.gov. This is really a good place to start if you are having trouble paying back your loans.
Okay.
And you want to know about whether there are maybe some income-based programs that would work for you. That is where I would start. You can, of course, also contact your loan servicer, and they also are, I think, are good at walking through, what you would be eligible for, and what your options are given your current loan picture. So those are probably the two places I would go first for help with my federal student loans.
That's great information. Just going directly to the Department of Education website is probably best, or talking directly to your loan servicer. I know that some people that have more than one loan, they could be federal loans, and they could have a combination of private loans too. So how can you talk a little bit about how people can find out what kind of loan they have, and if they do have a private loan, how to contact their loan servicer if they don't know who that is?
Absolutely. So again, we're talking about federal loans and private loans. Federal loans, you go to, it's also on the same, you can get there through studentaid.ed.gov. I think the direct link for logging in and checking out your federal student loans is studentaid.gov/login, and you can type in your information there, and it will tell you essentially who your loan servicer is, and there's contact information available too. So if you want to kind of start there and then call your servicer, that's a possibility. If we're talking about private loans, the best place to start would be your credit report if you don't know who your lender is. And you can go, if you want to get a free copy of your credit report, go to annualcreditreport.com, where you're entitled to a free credit report every year. And it will list, the report will list out your different creditors, including student lenders. So it would be listed on there if you have a private loan as well, or private loans should be on there.
Okay, great information. Yeah, that's really great advice to check your credit report, because definitely the lender is going to be listed there, and it's a good idea to check your credit report anyway.
Yes.
So thanks for that information. That's great. And before we wrap up, I want to ask you, so if we have fallen for one of these scams, or we see one of these ads and we think that they are that they could be scammy, what should we do? Should we report it to you? What should we do?
Yes, you should report it to us. So we want to hear about it if you've been scammed by one of these student loan debt relief companies. The probably the easiest way to do that is to go to our website and file a complaint, and that's at ftc.gov/complaint. And you can type in the details of it. We're interested, even if you haven't lost money. We're interested in the details about your experience, and that is the best place to start. You can also contact your state attorney general's office, or your servicer as well. And that's a good idea anyway. If you feel like you've gotten involved with a company that may be a scam, it's a good idea to contact your servicer, because some of them do change your contact information on your behalf, and sort of cut you off from your loan servicer. Can I give a tip about that?
Yeah, of course.
One thing we also recommend is we suggest that you are very careful or really don't give out your FSA ID, which is your unique number that you get when you sign up for federal student loans. You get this ID number that will allow you to, for example, sign in on studentaid.gov and figure out who your servicer is or what the status is of your loans. So this is really, you should treat it like your social security number and not just give it out. Because what a company can do is they can use it to essentially take over your information and put in contact, email, and phone number that doesn't actually belong to you, and prevents your servicer from telling you if your loan is having problems, it's in default, if it's time to recertify your income, these sorts of information that you would want from your servicer. So we also recommend that you don't give out your FSA ID.
Yeah, that's great advice to protect your information that way, because we're always telling people to protect, all their personal information, like their social security number and all that. And so the FSA student ID is one of those other personal information pieces that people should really be vigilant and take care of it and not really share it openly. So thanks for that.
And I have one more other thing.
Sure.
One more thing. When I was talking about, how you shouldn't pay upfront for these services, it is worth pointing out that with your federal student loans, anything that a private company is going to promise to do for you in terms of your loan, like in terms of getting you different repayment program or loan consolidation or being eligible for forgiveness, all these benefits are available to you for free through your servicer or through the Department of Education. I'm not sure if I was really clear about that, but you can go online and apply for them yourself, or you can call your servicer and apply for them. But they're available for free, and you shouldn't believe a company that says they're going to get you a better deal or do something in this area that you can't do for yourself.
Sounds like it's definitely better to go directly to the Department of Education or to your loan servicer if you need to reduce your student loan debt, or you have problems repaying your student loan, or you have some kind of concern with that.
Well, that's where we recommend people start.
Great. Well, that's really great information, Michelle. Thank you so much for sharing all those tips with us today. And we want to take your questions, so we are going to be answering questions on the comments. So please type your questions on the comment text below, and we'll be answering those questions tonight and throughout the week. So thank you so much for joining us, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye, guys.